Here is a video on accessing the ICND labs utilizing your own Telnet client. Here you can see that I have done a search on Google for TerraTerm. TerraTerm is a popular free Telnet application that we can use. It's one I would recommend. Putty is another great one. So here I am going to just visit the TerraTerm homepage and go ahead and download and install the appropriate version. Once I do that, you can launch the TerraTerm application, and as we can see when we launch it, you will be presented with this new connection window in which you can input the appropriate credentials for Telnet. Now, where do we get those credentials? Well, we're going to go log in to our Stormwind Epic Live campus, and we are going to go to ICND 1, for example, and in here we'll go down to the labs and we'll choose the first one, operating and configuring a Cisco iOS device, for example. And we're going to go in and we are going to go over to lab content, and under lab content we are going to choose access VLab. So the virtual lab is going to launch. And what we're going to do, choose Start Lab Now. And once we get into the lab, we are going to indicate that we want to access the lab natively using our own Telnet application that we just download. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here as we wait for the lab to load. Okay, now that the lab is loaded, I'm going to go ahead and drop this menu item and choose Telnet Native Application. And notice it gives us credentials up here to access the equipment with our native app. Now I'm going to carefully highlight the IP address and not the :23 telling us the Telnet port. And I'm going to carefully highlight this, right click and choose copy. I'm then going to go over to our application and I'm going to paste in the IP address that we are to connect to. And for the port, we need to change that to 23, the Telnet port. I'll then say OK, and we will connect to the gear where it is asking us to input our proxy username. This is back in the lab. So we go into the lab once again and carefully highlight the proxy username. Make sure you don't highlight an extra space like I just did there. Be very careful. Make sure you're only highlighting that username. Right click, copy. We're going to go back to our Telnet application and do an edit paste. And then go ahead and hit the enter key. Now the proxy password. We head back over to the lab. We carefully highlight the password. Make sure we don't have an extra space. We right click, choose copy. We then go back to our application of the terminal application. We edit, paste. It doesn't show up. That's because the console is not showing you the password at all. But trust me, the edit paste is going to work there. Hit carriage return and we are in the lab. And notice now we have instructions on how to interact with the lab. For instance, if I want to go to switch 1, I'll tap 1 on the keyboard, and we are in to the switch 1 device, and we can do all of our various commands for the lab. So that's it, folks. It's that easy to go ahead and enjoy the labs using your own terminal emulation application.